No Bigfooters or Sasquatch were harmed during the filming of this video. Just their pride. Hey my little Squatch monsters, welcome to the Off the Rictor Hall of Shame Awards for Season 4. Now, it is really big. So, 2.5 hours, that's too much Rictor. I broke it up into 4 parts. This is part 2. In the last episode, we took a look at Stephen Major, the Bigfoot version of Mr. Furley from Three's Company. Now we're gonna take a look at the biggest rodent enthusiast of Vermont, Christopher Noel. Who is he? Let's just say he thinks a porcupine is Bigfoot. He's also an author and, oh no, I'm now inside a Christopher Noel book. He's written some adult-oriented books. Oh, I don't want to be Candy Curvy.
So I wish you could be here. I'm gonna go take a potty break. Too much information?
Yeah, does he stand or does he squat? Let's find out.
It's time for Off the Rictor, because Bigfoot is real.
Hey my little Squatch monsters, it's time to shake up the Bigfoot community. This is Off the Rictor.
It is not easy to constantly produce Bigfoot stuff.
Because I'm gonna film one today for you, I think. Maybe not physically like as we know it, but like where you could see it really good.
Oh boy, here we go. Make sure your seats are raised and tray tables locked in the upright position. This is a show where I roast Bigfoot attention whores and hoaxers and Bigfoot superstars. Like me.
Bigfoot is like cancer, in my opinion.
Did she just say Bigfoot's like cancer? Oh, honey. Bless her heart.
No. Bigfoot is not like cancer at all.
He looked like a Neanderthal man with a lot of hair. About 800 pounds. Massive.
God! Is everyone in Bigfooting a hoaxer?
Yes.
You want your Bigfoot video to be seen? Now's your chance.
You know, believe what you want. Believe what you want, run with it, find your evidence, get what you're doing. Just don't be a dick.
Well, you haven't seen nothing yet. Let's be honest here, guys. I refuse to believe in Bigfoot.
So, Rictor, I have no doubts about your sincerity on this matter whatsoever. But I gotta tell you, my friend, a lot of people watching this, seeing the obviously disdain you have for the man, may think you have something, a grudge to grind.
No question.
Yep.
I don't lie. I don't hold things back. I'm probably the most honest person you've ever watched on YouTube.
Straightforward, he is.
The truth with Sasquatch lies with the Native Americans, and it's my job to point out the Bigfoot bullshit.
I think Rictor is going to make fun of Christopher Noel and his Bigfoot video.
Hello folks, Christopher Noel coming at you today.
Oh good God, now we have fully fallen into the rabbit hole. There's a village somewhere looking for its village idiot, and we found him. His name is Christopher Noel.
People describe by the hundreds and probably thousands seeing Sasquatch and then suddenly seeing it disappear. Or finding a single footprint and then no other prints around. Mike Patterson has been especially successful at documenting that last strange aspect.
It just turned and disappeared, was gone, not into thin air like I know they can do. We documented hundreds of footprints from them, and 100% of them go nowhere. They start out of thin air and they stop.
And you guys wonder why I'm leaving Bigfoot. Here we have one hoaxer referencing another hoaxer, thereby perpetuating the endless reinforcement of unsubstantiated claims. This is insanity.
But I've had physical contact many times too. You know, I get pokes and I've been patting the head, even my face covered at one point.
Mike Patterson, Sasquatch, Ontario, is one of the biggest hoaxers of all time.
Mike
Patterson.
He's a hoaxer.
It's giving me a migraine. He wants your money, just like everyone else in Bigfoot, preying on your beliefs and the gullibility of psychotic lunatics like Christopher Noel, who wants you to buy his books and believe his Bigfoot bullshit. This never ends, guys.
Now, here's the part you may not expect.
Yes, the part where dipshit filmed a porcupine. Christopher Noel is a peculiar Bigfoot hoaxer. He has spoken at Bigfoot conferences, written many books on Sasquatch, makes tons of ludicrous videos on YouTube with almost 17,000 subscribers, and is completely psychotic. The National Institute of Mental Health defines someone who is psychotic as out of touch with reality, likely experiencing false beliefs, known delusions, or false sights or sounds known as hallucinations. I met this man once. I think he's sweet. I think I scared him though. He was trembling when I shook his hand. I guess I have that effect on people in Bigfoot. Fair enough.
I need to be crystal clear about where the Sasquatch and civic duty movement stands on our approach to the Sasquatch species.
Now let's watch this hot mess. Now keep in mind, my little Squatch monsters.
But now, finally, a concrete demonstration right before our eyes.
That's because it's a porcupine, Sherlock. You're supposed to have a master's degree in philosophy, Christopher. Shouldn't philosophers like him ask questions and not give conclusions? He claims he graduated from Yale University, but would Yale University put him up on an admissions poster? Yes, he is one of the better educated people in Bigfoot. But what happened? You went to an Ivy League school to openly film videos of little rodent animals and say they're hairy monster human hybrids. This is like me going to USC Cinematic School of the Arts and posting videos on Pornhub.
If this upper portion, the thigh, above the branch, were a porcupine's back leg, we would now see it stepping independently up the trunk, disassociated from the thick, dragging tail.
Maybe the joke's on us. Maybe Christopher Noel is patronizing all of us, conducting some kind of psychological experiment for a future book. No, he's batshit. Do you guys remember 2 years ago when Christopher was wanting Bigfoot to be recognized as a people and was telling us to all go march on Washington? Well, everybody marched on Washington all right, but it wasn't the march he was hoping for.
A march and rally in Washington, D.C. Nothing draws attention and raises the stakes of an issue like a march on Washington. Of course, we're not going to storm the building, but we're showing out here because of what it represents.
Hello? You here? Just staring right out at me. Not bolting like a bear cub, say, would do. Hello?
I wish Roger Patterson never hoaxed Bigfoot back in 1967. We wouldn't be here right now looking like complete idiots. For example, Matt Moneymaker, he would be working as a shift leader for McDonald's.
Shut up!
Cliff Barackman, oh look at her, would grow breasts and be working as an elementary school principal by now. Renee Holland would be working as a Starbucks barista. Pip, the Bigfoot boy, Christopher Noel, would be working at Disneyland as a park sweeper. Oh, and look at Bobo. He'd be working as a sanitation worker for the city of Portland, wandering around and saying, "Ugh, Bigfoot's real. I'm a knower." And I would be a street hustling drag queen. all being better occupations than being a Bigfooter.
Instead, we see both upper and lower left leg sliding upward together because they're one thing.
Boy, Christopher is sure reaching. Look, ding dong. I want Bigfoot to be real more than anybody else. That way, the last 10 years of my life that I've spent wouldn't feel like a catastrophic waste of time. But you can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear and then sell it to me. You're making a mountain out of a molehill. It's all smoke and mirrors. Do I think Christopher Noel is intentionally hoaxing? Maybe. Possibly unintentionally. His heart is in the right place. Do I think the elevator doesn't reach the top floor? Absolutely.
Go ahead and point out two separate body parts here. If there were a stubby little back leg here, it would be abundantly obvious, even with this poor resolution.
Have you noticed that Christopher never smiles in his videos? He's definitely not firing on all thrusters.
You should even actually feel privileged to join the club of those who've been totally fooled by the master.
Take a look at this video with what I think is wrong with Christopher Noel and with so many other people in Bigfoot.
What is schizophrenia? You have to have 2 of the 5 psychotic symptoms. Delusions, which are fixed false beliefs. Something like your spouse was duplicated from a skin tag taken from the outer quadrant of your calf. Hallucinations. The more common hallucinations, auditory, which are hearing things that aren't there, seeing things that aren't there. Disorganized thinking. You may answer questions in a way that's only slightly related to what the person said, and it makes sense in your mind, but the person listening isn't quite sure what you mean. A 4th symptom, disorganized behavior. I've seen people who are so impaired that they smear feces on the wall. Sometimes it can be outbursts of laughing for seemingly no reason. The last manifestation is negative symptoms. It's usually not something that you notice about yourself. What other people will notice is they'll see dramatically decreased facial expressions, or complete lack of eye contact, or failure to initiate movement or speech.
I'm trying to understand why so many people in the Bigfoot community are seeing the same thing with so much conviction that no one else sees. Why is there such a disconnect? Where is this breach in reality coming from? Psychosis is a very serious thing. Too many delusional people are making videos like this who are running around undiagnosed with a mental disorder.
The guy is crazy. Hi. Doom 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 doom.
I think Christopher should consider making videos about Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny. I think he's missing his target audience. But at the end of the day, my little Squatch monsters, is he hurting anyone? Is he? This is his reality. It's his beliefs, and he feels the need to educate and inform others what he feels to be enlightenment. He desires to connect with others who share his constructed reality. That's why he makes these videos. He doesn't want to be all alone. He's very lonely. I wish I could help him. Nah.
You know, it's a little bit awkward because I feel like I'm pushing the boundary.
If you still can't see it and think I'm nuts or purposefully trying to pull the wool over your eyes, you're incorrect. And I may forgive you when you suddenly see the long legs, either soon or eventually, once some video enhancement wizard out there.
I can feel my headache coming back. Jesus Christ, Christopher, you're a sweet man. You're very kind, idealistic, extremely naive, and gullible. Since I'm leaving this mental hospital known as Bigfootery, I want to part with some encouraging words for you.
Welcome to an experience with the mind of Sasquatch.
You need to work with children. You could even work as an elf helping Santa Claus at the mall taking pictures during Christmas. You could work as a clown and provide entertainment for children at Chuck E. Cheese. The point is, Christopher, your core is pure.
Hey, Rictor.
What?
Christopher Noel has been very naughty.
Oh, this changes everything. Well, upon recent developments, it appears that this Bigfoot ding-dong is a bit of a dark horse. If you visit Barnes & Noble's website to look up Christopher Noel's catalog of work, you will find the following books. Impossible Visits, the inside story of interactions with Sasquatch at habituation sites. A Trip to the Vagina Doctor. Little Miss Pantyhose. Accidental Halloween Wife Swap. Lily's Prom Dress Adventure. The Mind of Sasquatch and Their Secrets to Success, a Theory. Lady Lawyer's Wilderness Bargain. Burning Desire, The Chef, The Daddy, and the Fireman. Our Life with Bigfoot, Knowledge of Our Next of Kin at Habituation Sites. Kirby Candy's Hot Gooey Stuffing. A Field Guide to Sasquatch Structures. Sorority Brats, Anal Attitude Adjustment. Danny. Which leads us to Sasquatch Rising 2013. What the hell, Christopher? I can't respect your sophomoric conclusions for Bigfoot, but I give you mad props for being sex positive with your writing and sexuality. After all this time, I thought you were a virgin. Who knew you were a Penthouse magazine Lothario? And if any of you want to read about Sasquatch on the vagina, the link is down below.
Hey, Rictor, there's more books.
What? Oh my God, there's more. Christopher Noel also writes children's books. I'm not gonna click on that. I can only imagine what they're titled.
Uh-oh.
Playtime with My Favorite Uncle.
Ew, yeah.
Daddy's Bad Little Girl. Candy Curvy's Hot Gooey Daddy Stuffing.
It's pretty creepy.
Unless you think he is magically levitating, it's being done with the upper body strength, with the arms. You're being tricked.
This is absolute stand-up comedy.
So you're in prison, and you have only 2 weeks to go before you get out. But you...
I was joking! I was being sarcastic! Oh my God!
I came to realize that my life was stagnating a bit and that I needed to try something radically different. So I went to one of those small islands off the coast of Africa and learned that clicking language. Now before you start thinking, hey, maybe I'll go over there and learn that clicking language like he did, there are a couple things I ought to warn you about. It's a wonderful, wonderful island. But first off, the people there call their language, they actually call it that clicking language. And they hate it when you laugh at that. Secondly, that coffee maker is for shit. And then there's this one guy, we'll call him...
Unbelievable. You know, even though this was made in 2009, doing stand-up comedy about how blacks talk in Africa might not be considered appropriate. It's punching down. It could be considered racist.
Like I was traveling overseas one time and I tuned into one of the local blooper shows on TV. Check this out. So the line is supposed to be...
Christopher, I can't believe you still have that video on the internet. But who am I, right? I'm just a big, white, gay Italian. Let's have someone else more qualified with a darker skin pigment comment on this.
Christopher Noel, whatever. I fail to see the humor in your portrayal of black people and how they speak living off the coast of Africa. Stick to your Bigfoot comedy.
Back to Bigfoot. It's safe to say Christopher Noel is psychotic when it comes to his make-believe forest friends. He can't separate fiction from reality, and I suspect there's a disconnect somewhere in his little Vermont brain. Maybe he's schizophrenic or even on the spectrum. I don't know. But that pretty much describes the whole Bigfoot community in a nutshell. Y'all are special.
On the next Off the Richter.
How much do you want to bet Joe Hoaxer says he sees UFOs too?
We typically, not every night, but a lot of nights that we watch, we'll see anywhere from 1 to 10, 15 UFOs fly in and out of the mountain. We've also seen them hovering over the vortex grounds here, so there's definitely a UFO connection here too.
Hey David, ask Joe Hoaxer about Elvis. On second thought, scrap that.
I don't believe in demeaning and degrading of people. I'm one of these people that sit on the sidelines and look at the horrid comments that come through towards other people in the world. I don't understand it.
How quaint of him to sit back and claim he's altruistic and not be mean and demeaning, when in fact it appears he was an absolute asshole cop. If you go by the local newspapers, he was a fucking monster. He repeatedly abused his power as a cop in San Jose and beat up black people.
Wait, what? What? Oh, hell no! You better hold me back!
I don't understand why people out there need to puff out their chests by making their thoughts known on a public forum about what they think about somebody in a demeaning, lack of integrity type of way.
It's called holding people accountable for what they say and do. David thinks he has morals. It justifies his anger and violence. But what if you're a victim of his? The Mercury News has everything documented, and it did not go unnoticed. Is he going to claim that the reporters Brad Cava, Betty Barnacle, and Sandra Gonzalez had some kind of evil, liberal vendetta against him by painting him as a bad, racist cop? Were they the progenitors of Antifa in 1987? How is DP going to spin this? He won't even address it. He isn't transparent with his past and doesn't own up for the things he has done. That would mean taking accountability for his actions. And there's no accountability in Bigfoot.
I appreciate each and every one of you, and you are important.